In step 1, we ask, what is the intent of the content standard? And what is the content standard saying that the student must know and be able to do? In this example, we're going to work within the math domain of operations and algebraic thinking, and within the standards of representing and solving problems and adding and subtracting within 20. For the student that we're examining, we're working with a student named Eli, who's a second grader who has a math learning disability. So we're going to start with the second grade standards. When we look at the standards for second grade and ask, what does the standard say the student must know and be able to do? We need to know how the standard develops over time. So let's think about how operations and algebraic thinking develops from kindergarten through second grade. Students develop meaning for addition and subtraction as they encounter problem situations in kindergarten, and they extend these meanings as they encounter increasingly difficult problem situations in grade 1. They represent these problems in increasingly sophisticated ways, and they learn and use various computation strategies to find answers. In each grade, the situations, representations, and methods foster growth from one grade to the next. One resource that we can use to help us develop our understanding of how standards develop over time is the Achieve the Core coherence maps. We're going to begin with second grade, and we're going to go to the standard, the domain of operations and algebraic thinking. We're going to begin with the standard for using addition and subtraction within 100 to solve 1- and 2-step word problems. And you can see here all of the situations that students must be able to use at the second grade level. If I want to see how that standard develops over time, I'm going to click Map Standard. And then I can go back to the standards, track back here to the standard that is equivalent to that for first grade. And you can see here that there's other standards that feed into this particular standard, numbers in base 10. But we're going to focus on the operations and algebraic thinking domain. So I'm going to go to this first grade standard. And here again, I can see the description of that standard. And you'll also notice that within each of these, there are some example tasks that you can use to help do some survey assessment to gather some data about how the student approaches these types of problems. You can download the example task, and you'll also see that there's some additional tasks and even some lessons within here. And now I want to go all the way back to kindergarten and see how do we start this standard at the kindergarten level. And here we can see the description that here we're asking students to solve addition and subtraction word problems and add and subtract within 10 by using objects or drawings to represent the problem. And again, you'll see some example tasks and some additional tools at the bottom of the screen. So in kindergarten, students act out addition and subtraction by representing quantities with objects their fingers, and drawings. They work with addition and subtraction situations within 5 and then expand to within 10. In first grade, students extend addition and subtraction problem solving to problems within 20 and add new problem situations. In second grade, students represent and solve problems within 100 and solve two-step situational problems of all types. They add and subtract fluently within 20 by the end of grade 2, using a variety of strategies, including mental strategies. In sum, in grade 2, students master all of the problem situations. The numbers in these problems involve addition and subtraction within 100. They represent these problems with diagrams and/or equations for problems involving addition and subtraction within 20. By the end of grade 2, students know all sums of one-digit numbers from memory. For other problems involving numbers to 100, students in second grade use their developing place value skills and understandings to find the answers. Students work with two-step problems, especially with single-digit add-ins.